What's up guys, and welcome to today's YouTube video. Jumping right into it, a nice little track video. So I know you guys and me as well love the projector housings on the headlight. Makes it look like the upgraded version of the truck. Just makes it look a lot better, cleaner with the projector style and the full black. However, these are a Chinese brand. I didn't want to spend, the $1,000 or $1,500 that the actual GM projectors would have costed me. So I paid the price, and these projectors they suck. They don't really throw light all that well. I was never really all that happy with the way that they threw light, but I like the way they look, and the high beams worked kind of well. So on the highway, they weren't too bad. So as a project for functionality, I'm going to be revisiting these headlights. Those of you who have watched the old video may have heard me talk about maybe building these headlights. Now, I'm going to build these headlights, but I'm not really going to build them, take them apart. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chrome bezel off. I'm going to color match that to the truck, black, not classy dip. I'm actually going to color match it, so I'm going to sand it, put some adhesion promoter, I'm going to paint it, and I'm going to clear coat it, and I'm going to put that on the truck. And it's going to look nice. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with this center strip. I might just take it off and then put it back on later. And the other thing that I want to do is I want to tint the side markers here, just to give it its own little custom flair. So it's going to have the same look as these without having projectors, and it's going to light up a lot better, because these lights with LED bulbs in them light up like super good. I've never seen a headlight light up like these do with an LED bulb in it. So first step is going to be to clean these up, and then I can start popping off the bezel. Got them both cleaned up. I just used some dish soap to get rid of any grime, grease, whatever would have been there. So I'm going to start with, I believe this is the driver's side one. So there's clips on every side of the headlight. From what I understand, the ones on the fender side being hinges. So what I'm going to start by doing, getting this tab loose, sticking a pry tool in here, and then one in the center just to get that free, because there is 3M tape holding this together along with clips. Now, when I'm working with plastic, especially old plastic, well, not really old plastic, it's 4 years old, but I like to at least use a little bit of heat, even though it's a warm enough day, just a little bit of heat to make the plastic a little easier to work with, and make it so it doesn't break. Even if it does break, I'm not worried about gluing it after. I just rather it not. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just one step further. And I'm going to do this as kind of like a tutorial slash just me doing it. That way, if you guys are trying to take this headlight apart too, you guys can also do it. So what I went ahead and done is I've heated up these two. Didn't really need to. They were pretty easy. I separated them. I stuck a pry tool in right here, and I stuck a pry tool in right here. And then that freed up these two clips right here and allowed me to stick this one in here. Now, once I've gotten this one in here, it kind of holds it all out. So these clips, you can remove the pry tools on the side, and these clips will stay off. So now I'm going to move to the top part of the light, and go from there. There's also clips here as well, which I need to release, which will be this one and this one over here, using the same method, but I'll show you once I get that far. This is a few minutes later. Gone ahead and released the two little clips here, stuck pry tools in the bezel just to keep those clips from reclipping, and then I'm going to flip the light upside down and do the bottom. Now, there's two ways of doing this. There's trying to pry it open with this piece on, or just taking it off. I'm just going to take it off, make it a lot easier. I just want to show you guys, it's starting to come apart now. It actually comes apart pretty easy. I'm just been putting a little bit of heat here, and you don't even really have to put any heat. But just been putting a little bit of heat here. There's some 3M tape here on this rib here, and this rib here. And you can kind of see it kind of breaking loose there. It's not too hard, just kind of sticking a pry tool in there and breaking all the glue loose. And then the whole thing will swing off. There we have it. You can see the 3M tape just on the inside there. That's not going to be all that hard to clean up. Bit of Goo Gone, I'll let that sit in there. I'll be able to clean the light a lot better. And one of the reasons I changed this light was because it was kind of hazy right here, but I'm not going to worry too much about that, because they do light up way better than those things. So I'm going to clean up the 3M tape here, clean this up a little bit better, and then I can move on to sanding this once all the gooey stuff is gone. Actually, another thing I went ahead and did beforehand is I took the little centerpiece off, there's just these little tabs here, but it also has its own 3M tape. So you want to start from one end. I just started at the end that was releasing the best, which was this end. Worked a pry tool back there while pulling those clips open. Once the clips got through and stayed open, I was able to work my way down and eventually get the whole thing off. This is pretty fragile, so I'd be careful with it. So I believe the last video you guys saw was me finally taking this off and putting that aside. Now the next step was sanding. I got a little carried away last night and sanded both bezels. So you can see here, they're nice and dull, not shiny anymore. I used the 150, went up to 300, then 600. So it's pretty shiny. I made sure to get in, or not shiny, but sanded. And I went in all the little cracks, got all the corners, made sure it was all good. Yes, I'm wearing socks and sandals, just something quick I threw on to come outside. Don't judge me, because I already judged myself enough. So what I have here is I have some paint promoter or adhesion promoter. That will help accept the paint, and then I've got some clear coat afterwards. Now I don't know if this is the right clear coat. I'm going to go out on a limb here and try it anyways, because it does say clear coat and says you can use it for pretty much anything, and it says it's glossy, so it should work. So I've got the black paint, I've got the adhesion promoter, which I'm going to put on first. So after I put the adhesion promoter on, I got to put the paint on within 10 minutes, and then I think that's pretty much it. Then I'm just going to follow those same steps. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this with some anything that I'll take off grease, and then I can go ahead and start this process. And there we have it. So I've got, like, I don't know, I used the full can of the black. So I've got more than enough coats on there. I've got 2 light coats followed by 1 thicker coat of clear coat. I might do 1 more coat because I have some left in the can. But it's looking pretty good at this point. It's nice and shiny. Did everything the right way, so this paint should be pretty strong. Got it from all angles, as you guys seen in the time lapse there. I went from, you know, every angle that I could get. So once this is dry, like I said, I'm gonna do 1 more coat of clear coat. Once this is dry, I'm gonna move on to tinting these. Now they already come with their little, with like a crease right here, and it just kind of bulges out. So I think I'm just gonna tape off all the outside of this and tint this part here. Now, if you can see, if you look at it at this angle, you're still going to be able to see the amber on the way through. But I'm thinking that might actually turn out looking pretty cool, because when you're looking dead onto the truck, you're going to see these little amber stripes on the inside. So that might actually be not a bad idea. And on top of that, if these end up being too dark, at least you're going to see someone's going to see me signaling here. But I shouldn't have any problem with it being too dark, because I'm going to try to find that happy medium of it's still looking black, but having that reflectivity still come through. So 1 last coat of clear on there, and we're going to move to that. And by the way, this video is going to be over the course of a few days, just because I start my night shifts tonight at the mine, and I'm kind of doing this in the meantime, and I want this to dry for enough time so that it's nice and hard for when I go in, put everything back on, like the seal, go and put that back onto the headlight housing, because I don't want any issues with paint flaking, smudging, or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to do. So like I said, here we are 7 days later after my run at the mine. I'm at the step in which I need to clean and tint the side markers here. So I've already gone ahead and cleaned it up. So I'm just going to tape off around here, and then I can move on to the tinting of it. And just like that, it's tinted, not tinted, it's taped. I can move on to now tinting it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with light coats and gradually go darker and darker. and then kind of shine some light through with a flashlight and see the kind of reflectivity we have coming through there. And like I said, I'll just repeat that process back and forth just to make sure that these are visible, because I do want them visible during the day, because I don't want oncoming traffic to not be able to know, that I'm also signaling. So you might still see some amber, but it'll at least be darker. So like I said, we're going to be tinting and just going back and forth. I didn't really film me tinting it, but I think that's about as dark as I want to go. That's 2 coats. So yeah, it looks pretty dark, but you can still see the amber on the other side. Just gonna shine my light through it here, show you guys. So see, it still lights up a fair amount. So let's say you're signaling, you'll still see that during the day. And I mean, in the sun, you're gonna see it a lot more. This is just with like my garage lighting here. But I think that's about as dark as I want to go without, being illegal. So I think once I have the bulbs in there, I mean, this is just like a little LED from my flashlight shining through. So I think once I have an actual bulb in there lighting it up, it won't be too bad. And during the daytime when they're not lit up, well, they looked pretty tinted. So I'm going to take the tape off now and we'll see what it looks like. That's without all the tape. You know what? Let's try and grab a bezel. We'll put it on. We'll get a sneak peek of what it looks like. And there we go. I think that turned out really good. Just a little sneak peek. You can still see the amber coming through, so I'm not too worried about that. I mean, during the daytime, like I said, with the sun shining through, you're still going to see the amber plenty. At night, you're still going to see lots of, you're still going to see the lights plenty coming through there, and during the day with the signals. So I think that's a vast improvement from the stock look that we had before. So I also want to take a minute to, I guess, give you guys a little sneak peek to a little further in the video. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched one of the earlier videos of the channel. Probably not, but anyways. I had these headlights in before, and obviously they're my stocks, so I would have had them in before. So I had these in with an LED bulb, and they were extremely bright, which is why I'm going back to these, because they are the brightest set of headlights I've seen with an LED bulb in them as of yet. So just a sneak peek as to the bulb I'm going to be using. It's going to be the same style I was using before, except this is from the same company that I'm using on everything when it comes to the razor for light bars, headlights, girlfriend's car, truck, everything I go with, I use BPS lighting, because and they have the best service. As far as shipping, I got this within 2 days. The quality of their stuff, I mean, I'm still using all of their stuff, nothing's broken, and they really care, and they want to know how they're doing. So even after you purchase something, they'll ask you if you're happy with it, along with a lot of other companies. But these guys, you can tell that they genuinely care, because they'll help you out as soon as you have an issue. They will help you out, because I've heard of stories where people have had issues, and right away they're on the ball. They get another product to them, no questions asked. So yeah, let's take a look in here just at exactly what we're looking at here. And no, I wasn't paid to say that. I just really like this company because I haven't had one issue with them yet. And yeah, I'm just really impressed. So, like I said, the same style bulb I had before, just a little heatsink. Yes, they fit in the housing. I will show you guys later that everything fits. Along with even putting the high beams in. But I'm going to use the ones that I still have in the truck outside, which you can't see now, you're just looking at a door. But I'm going to use the same high beams in there. I'm just going to put them in here. And since those are an LED H1 and these are an H11, I had to get different bulbs. So these are the same style as the high beams. They're just going to be low beams. So I'm going to put them in here. Yeah, just a sneak peek to later on in the video. So we've talked about the lights, the tinting is done. The one thing I did just after our conversation about the lights there is I replaced the rubber seal around the outside of the light on the underside that you guys saw me take off. Well, at least I think you guys saw me take it off. If I didn't film that, I apologize. There is a rubber seal type gasket thing behind there. You may be able to see it. I just put that back on with some silicone, and I also placed these back in just with some silicones, clipped the clips back in place. I'm going to let all this stuff dry overnight because the tint says Better to wait 24 hours before even handling it. So before I put everything back together, I'm just gonna let that set. But this will be just after this clip for you guys anyways, but this will be the next day, if not the next couple days for me. So the next clip, I'm gonna have everything together and we're gonna start reinstalling it into the truck. And there we have it. I finally have them in. I think they look awesome. Color match, really good job. You can't even tell the difference in paint. They actually came out perfect along with the tint on the side markers. I think that was a good choice to do. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys real quick that you can actually see the turn signals. So see, during the daytime there's still plenty visible. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the light output with the LED headlights and the light bar, just to give you guys a frame of reference. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. So let's go ahead and check out these lights. So there's an extreme amount of light coming out of the truck now, which is what I wanted, because I do a lot of highway at night, especially when I'm on night shift. It's dark when I go to work and it's dark when I come home. So this is perfect for my application that I have. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys prefer this setup, or do you guys prefer the old setup with the projectors? Now, I'm not too sure. I almost think I like this a little better, just because the light output is the light output is a lot better with these opposed to the other ones. But I do like the look of the projector. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about, you know, the whole tinting, the color matching. What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer chrome, or do you prefer, you know, color match? So next, on my next run off, I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna come off onto vacations. I'm gonna color match the grill. Now the grill is classy dipped. It doesn't look perfect. I mean, you can tell getting up close that the texture is not the same and the color is not the same. I'm going to attempt, since these turned out so well color matching, I'm color matching the grill the same, so that the whole front of the truck looks just the way it should. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. It's a little bit longer of a video, but it was a little bit longer of a process to get this done. So I hope you guys stuck around with me through the whole video. If you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing, hit that like, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a video. I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.